And now for video 5, where we will finish learning the whole system. So let's get started with lesson 20, where we will do Q in 10 and a few list activities as well as cueing some flicks together. So Q in 10, pause here to cue it, then we will cue it together right after. Don't drop Asian food. How do they dive off the platform? Please don't do that. I do not like it at all. It has not been a pleasure or a treasure. That is Q in 10. Now we will do lists 13 and 14. Now list 13, list A, we have beige, deep treasure, please, den, up, apple, dame, dude, and window. Now, activity 14, list A. Pete, failed, who, pawn, pen, measure, pat, power, po, papa, and pine. And now for so many flicks, I'm not going to cue all of them. Why don't you go ahead and pause, cue some, then I'll cue some. First, we have guide, post, camouflaged, flood plain, airspace. We have serves, scarce, reserves, forced, coarse, toughed, ruffed, scarves, shift, shelves, laughed, selves, and their selves, just for a few for practice. Now, for lesson 21, we will do some sentence practice. Then we will do some work with common clusters. So, you pause and cue these, then I will cue them with you. Is this probably true? Is the play free? It must be their doorbell. Now pause again for these. That boy is very passive today. He had a measurably hard time with that. And for the last group, pause here. He says, no problem. I must come play here more often. He stood upon the top of it. He stood upon the top of it. And now for clusters. We have the DR cluster, dr, dr. So we have dry, drip, drape, dream, dress, drive, drove, drown, drum, drag, drink, drizzle, and dread. For in the middle of a word, we have adrenaline, hydraulic, and quadrant. And for the final clusters, they will usually end here. So wonder, tender, and ladder. For or PR, we have pry, pro, pray, proud, prom, press, prod, prime, prize, print, price. Then we have produce, or the verb produce, practice, practical, praise, premiere, prepare, president, and primary. For in the middle of a word, we have apricot, surprise, uproot, improve, and supreme. Then finally we have prosper, whisper, proper, and vapor. Now for sp, we have spy, speed, sped, spurt, spade, speak, sports, spoke, spend, spoon, space, sparkle, spaghetti, special, spacious, spark, spur, and spit. For sp in the middle of a word, we have dispel, respond or respond, hospital, respect, desperate, response, aspect, displacement, and respiratory. Then we have clasp, grasp, wasp, crisp, asp, hasp, cusp, lisp, rasp, and wisp. Then for the cluster spr, we have spree, spray, spry, spread, sprite, sprout, sprain, sprayed, sprawl, sprocket, sprite again. Then for in the middle of a word, I only found one, desperate. There are no words that I could find that end in spr. Now, street, streak, strip, stripe, strike, strive, strawberry, stress, and structure. For in the middle of a word, we have distract, instruct, obstruct, construct, instrument, restrain, restrict, instructive, instrumental, and obstruction. Then we have disaster, master, register, cluster, and bolster. Now, to learn handshape 7, the second to last thing we need to learn for the whole system. And handshape 7 is the sounds voiceless th, g, and j. So for handshape 7, it looks like this. I use the phrase thug jug to remember it. G and j. This hand looks like this, and your middle finger is the contact finger for the placements. So it looks like this. And the cue notation is 7. So we have Jeep, jerk, jeer, Jewish, jaw, Jen, Jer, J, jam, jittery, Joe, John, jug, joy, Jace, Gines, and jow. Then for the g sound, we have geekier, girth, gear, goo, gaw, gen, Gary, g, gamut, get, go, gone, Gus, goy, gay, guys, gown. And then finally, for the sound, we have theocracy, third, theory, thumer, made that up, thaw, the, theranos, thanos, thit, tho, thon, thunder, thoi, thay, thigh, and thown. We have two new minimal pairs. So we have k and g, which are made in the same place in the mouth. And then we have th and th, which are the same place in the mouth. Th and th we will do a lot of work with because many people have a hard time differentiating which sound they're using. So for hand shape 2, the voiced TH sound, your throat is vibrating. You can feel it in your throat. And hand shape 2 is used for most family words, pronouns, and function words. So words like mother, father, and brother, they, them, theirs, and this, that, these, those, the, either, neither, and other all use the hand shape 2 for the th sound. The exception is both. Both is the only function word I could think of that uses the th sound, not the th sound. So here are more words with the voiced TH on hand shape 2. Bathe, the, father, although, gather, these, either, that, this, mother, them, brother, together, and those. So for hand shape 7, the voiceless TH sound, we usually use that sound for numbers, verbs, and first names. So 3, 13, 30, thousand, thousandth, and third. Now, some of these verbs you can't cue yet, but I wanted to show you them so you can be aware of the sounds. So, think, you can't cue yet, think, but that verb has the th sound. Think, thank, throw, thrive, thrust, thump, thrill, threaten, thunder, thumb, thread, thrash, throttle, and thaw. And then first names. So Ethan, Seth, Beth, Bethany, Kathy, Anthony, Cynthia, and Martha. One name that doesn't follow that convention is Heather. It's not Heather, Heather. So words with voiceless th, month, moth, thin, both, booth, method, anything, which you can't cue anything yet, but you will before this video is over. Ether, author, healthy, thumb, thigh, teeth, and 3. So now you pause here and go through this slide and see if you can tell which sound is in each word. So we have this, thought, thin, bath, worth, path, north, truth, author, breathe, clothe, bathe, lather, tooth, both, brother, clothed, the, earth, south, weather, smooth, I'm wrong, smooth, health, booth, breathe, breath, there, leather, and wreath. Now to do activity 15, list A. Urged, egg, or some people say egg, goat, joy, gauge, jaw, 3, thaw, jogs, third, gauche, and guest. Now some minimal pair words. Lead and red, man and ban, sip and zip, chair, dare, bet, bat, book, cook, bat, pat, den, 10, fan, van, goat, coat, bit, beat, cup, cap, caught, cat, fly, flay, couch, coach, hot, hat, by, boy, my, may, bet, bait, seat, sit, cone, can, and finally, put, put. Now I want you to go through these words too to see if they're v or th. Now I'll go through them. This, thought, thin, bath, worth, path, north, truth, author, breath, south, weather, smooth, health, booth, there, leather, wreath, bathe, lather, tooth, both, brother, clothed, the, think, earth, clothe. Now to practice with X. X has 3 ways we say it in English. 2 are very common, and 1 is in 1 or 2 words. So the most common is x, x, which we've been using this whole time. The other we couldn't cue till right now is gz, gz. So we have axe, fox, max, axis, oxygen, context, taxi, box, mix. Then for gz, we have exist, exaggerate, examine, exemplify, exhibit, existence, and executive. The third way is in the word luxury, and it is guj, guj. So luxury or luxurious. That is the only word I know of that doesn't follow this convention. And now time for the second to last cue-in. So pause here and we'll go through it next. This month, I know that these people from the South, Southerners, have healthy teeth. But guess what? Gears glide gingerly when we oil them. Just the jester is a little silly. Guess the joke's on John. Now for lesson 24, where we will learn the last hand shape, which is pretty tricky. So this is hand shape 8. It makes the sounds y, ch, and which we'll get into. So this hand shape has a different placement than the others. The others are consistent in which finger you're using to touch the placement, but this hand shape differs. So at the mouth, you will put your middle finger on the placement. But at the chin and the throat, you will use your pointer finger. And the cue notation for this is 8 for hand shape 8. And with all vowels, cheeses, church, cheery, choo-choo, chaw, chen, cherry, ch, channel, chit, chose, cha, cha, choi, che, chive, chowder. Then for y, we have Yeezy, yearn, year, you, yaw, yen, year, y, yams, yit, yo, ya, yuck, yoy, yay, yikes, and yown. So what about the sound? Is in many words like pink, pink, think, thank, sink, ink, mink, wink, ing, monkey, uncle, chunk, zinc, mingle, linger, and sing. So any word that ends in ing will be ing. Sing, ring, ting, ming, bring, thing. Those all end in throat placement to sing. But it doesn't always end with ing. So if we have plus nothing, that is sing, ring, thing, ting, long, tong, and young. Plus k is pink, think, thank, ink, sink, mink, wink, monkey, uncle, zinc, and chunk. Then we have plus g. Longer, younger, bingo, anger, hungry, mango, and dangle. So notice that with all words, we never go from, well, never is a stretch, but we usually don't go from A, that diphthong, A, we don't go from A to this. So words like angle, that's not right. It might sound like that, but we don't cue that. It would be angle. Ang. The only two words I can think of are more onomatopoeias, like oink. You can do that, or boink. But not many words go from to. It is 99% of the time going to be eng. So, as if that weren't enough with all the sounds that we don't really pay attention to, we also have words that have what I call hidden Y sounds. So words like fuel, there is a sound in there. Fuel, few, fuse, mule, beauty, music, review, populate, view, refuge, bugle, pupil, refuse, cued speech, cute, invaluable, argue, cubic, useful, useless, humane, pewter, accumulate, accuse, value, nephew, funeral, purify, uniform, occupation. And that also brings me to often when we have two vowels next to each other, we may hear a y sound. Like in the brand name Toyota, that is spelled Toyota. That doesn't have the hidden Y. What you're hearing, Toyota, is the two vowels next to each other, kind of making it sound like there is a Y sound in there, but there isn't. It is just your voice gliding between those two vowels of oi and o, oyo, oyo. So we don't cue the Y sound in those cases. It's not Toyota, it's Toyota. And now for the last cue in. Pause here to cue it, then I will cue it, and then we're all done with the lessons. But I will be adding a link to all the lists that we've cued and many more so that you can get more practice. So I will upload two links. One will be to the lists that build with this course so you can cue them all. So the start of the lists only has hand shape 5 and the mouth vowel. So that way you can cue that as you learn. But the later lists in that document will have every sound. Then I will also add a second document that has everything that is tough for cuers to get used to. That document has all new list activities that you can use to practice. So let's go with this last cue in. You, yes, y'all. Fuel is in the pink church's trunk. Let's choose to sing and ring while we're young and hungry. Cued speech is cute and valuable. You need to think thanks for the monkey's uncle. And that's it. Now you know the whole system. So thank you for watching, and I hope this has been a helpful resource.